right, man. I seen an article. I can't remember what website it was on. And it was one of the Lions websites telling the Lions fans to temper their expectations for TJ Hockenson as a rookie. And I finally got around doing this video. I want to do this video at the beginning of the week, but I appreciate everybody for checking in. Motor City Sports Talk. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And but you know, the reason why they telling you not to have that high expectations for TJ Hockenson as a rookie, because historically there's only been one rookie 1,000-yard catcher of the football in multiple and double-digit touchdowns that I found in the research, and I linked the article in the description. And it's Mike Ditka. Was it 1961? 56 receptions, over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. Then Shockey was there with like maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns, so 800 yards. So the reason, the article is entitled, and I just found it trying to find the greatest rookie tight end season. There may be some more out there, better seasons, but Gronkowski had a really good season as well. But I'm trying to get people to understand. The article is called. Excuse me, my mind is all mixed up. It takes a year for a tight end to kind of get used to the NFL. And at the end of the day, Bob Quinn may not have a year if Martha is as shrewd as she says she is, if she is cutthroat as they say she is, riding around on a cart firing people. And Bob Quinn pretty much, bet on a position in the first round of TJ Hockenson to contribute right away, because he don't really have time. If the Lions win 3 or 4 games like some NFL experts are predicting, which I don't necessarily believe it, he did cover his own ass with getting Jesse James. But if Hockenson don't have that impact where people can see it at, people gonna be saying Ebron the first time he drop a ball, or it may not be a drop, it may go off his helmet. It's a lot of pressure on him, and he don't really necessarily need that. And just some of the things that rookies deal with, getting an apartment, managing money, trying to find the people that can help them with their finances and surround them with the right team, getting acclimated to a new season. Yeah, they got more time on their hands and stuff of that nature, but, that's all stuff that come with a rookie. You know what I'm saying? You've seen the story with Adrian Peterson. He made $100 million in the NFL, earning, not including his endorsements, and now he broke. So on top of you practicing every day, lifting, film work, you still got to juggle, like, who handling your finances. And, if I can't pay my DTE bill or I can't pay my rent, who can I trust to pay my rent, and what accountant I can get? And a lot of that, you lean on your veterans, you lean on your coaches, or you lean on the internet and you do some research. And what I can say, this gets to any potential NFL players or any potential any NFL players. What you do is you get you an accountant. If you don't have nobody you can trust, or you ain't married and you can trust your wife, but you never mix your money with your honeys, a lady told me back in college. But you get somebody to audit your accountant secretly, especially when your whole thing, you pay a couple dollars to get somebody audit, whoever handle your finances, or you have somebody above them audit them secretly. And that's how you handle that. But you got to juggle all of that, and we ain't even got the football talk yet. He got to get acclimated to the blocking schemes. They got them playing receiver. They got them playing slot receiver. Some guys like Gronkowski line up in the number 1 receiver spot or number 2 receiver spot. They in bunch formations. You got to learn line audibles. You got to block. You got to get adjusted to the speed of the pass rushers. You got to learn the route tree. You got to learn how Stafford like things done. How he like his option routes, what he see. You got to get used to, the velocity of the ball he throwing, the speed of the NFL. That's a lot to get used to. I mean, a rookie receiver just got to know how to go out there, learn the playbook, he will learn the playbook, learn the route tree, and they might say, well, we only going to play you at the X or the Z position, or that's what we going to play you at. You learn that position, and then we'll just feed it to you. As a tight end, shit, you might have to go to the offensive line meeting. You might have to do the receiver meeting. You might have to do a little bit of the fullback with the running back meeting. That's a lot to ask. And can they make it more easier for him to digest? Absolutely. But you don't want to tip your plays off. Oh, you know what? We only going to put Hockenson in on running situations, or we only going to get him in, put him in on knowing passing situations. I mean, NFL people, they pay people to learn your tendencies and deep analytics. So, they only put Hockenson in to run a stick route, or they only put Hockenson in to run a deep post route while we in cover 3 or we playing zone coverage. So it's really hard to dress it up. He just gotta learn these positions. Now, can they keep him at the end of the line and say, you know what, we just had Jesse James play the slot and we need him outside. We haven't played that. Just learn the line, learn the blocking, learn the routes, and then if you end up catching on that, or next season you can learn the slot receiver and how that works. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot to learn. He got to juggle football stuff, and that's a ton of stuff. And then he got to juggle not becoming a victim of, being a broke NFL player, not becoming a victim of his family asking for a lot of money and him going broke. He got to balance life, and of course there's no more classes. He got to balance life and football. If you show up late to a meeting, or you don't stay late to work hard because somebody audited your account, or your accountant say, oh, we missing this much, and you got to handle that, then shit, they not gonna understand. They the book on you. Oh, he lazy, he don't want to stay after, but you got a life too. He got a lot to learn, and that's the reason why it's hard. Running back, hey man, you get a feel for your linemen in the training camp, in the camps, and the mini camps, and you know what they like to do, and they learn your running style at camp. You got t-shirts and shorts on. They can feel, you get a feel if you're gonna be patient, or how you gonna set up a block. After a while, just in camp, just using y'all can be blocking the air. They get a feel for you. Even if you got to go out there and learn the route tree, it's a lot simpler. Blocking schemes, route tree, running, it's a lot simpler than learning. Oh man, you might have to block as a fullback. You might have to come out as a fullback and run routes. You got to line up at tight end and learn how to block and run routes. You might line up as a second tight end. You got to learn his routes and his blocking scheme and his block and release. You got to learn the slot. That's why it was a lot overwhelming for Ebron. They got to really break it down for this kid in increments and don't overload him. The tight end position is tough. It's a tough position to learn today. It's no longer just blocking and catching from the tight end spot. You might be blocking and catching from the second tight end spot. You might be blocking out the backfield. You might be catching out the backfield. You might be catching out wide. You might be catching in the slot. That's just a lot to digest, and that's a lot to ask somebody, man. But when you pick somebody, in the 8th pick or whatever it was, these fans playing season tickets, and we paying hundreds of dollars to park and hundreds of dollars in food, and you don't perform. It was a risky pick, really, looking at what Bob Quinn did. He may not be around to see Hockenson flourish. You know what I'm saying? He may not be around to see that. And it's going to be a lot of pressure on him, my dog Burke. I don't know why. It's going to be a lot of pressure on him coming this season. Unnecessary pressure from the fans. But when you that high of a pick, and you picked around the same pick, if not the same pick Ebron is, and they had the failures of Brandon Pettigrew and stuff of that nature, man, it's a lot to ask of the kid, but I think he can handle it, man. I watched him run some routes, and I know he only really started that 1 year. Noah Fant was the real tight end, but he can already block. That's a lot. That's saying a lot more. It's either some guys that can catch and can't block, or can't catch, who really ain't a pass catcher, but can block. So him blocking is gonna make him valuable already. He gonna be able to be at the one tight end spot, or even the slot. He'd be able to block out the slot. He'd be able to block out the backfield. When you a blocker, he always going to have a job in this league. Always going to have a job. And he also can catch, and he also fluid. People say he might run a 4.7, but the way he come in and out of his breaks, real smooth, and he able to get down, man. So pulling for him, but to have, expectations for him to light the world on fire from the tight end position. And historically, Matthew Stafford hasn't had a ton of success with his tight ends, no matter who they are. We'll see if he can change that, but I think it's going to take some time. And it's a risky pick. Bob Quinn made a ton of risky. Him and Talani were real risky picks. If they boom, then, I think it's going to look good. But if they bust, he might be on the short bus right outside Detroit. But he must know he got more job security than we believe he do, because, this pick may not flourish until year 2 or 3 for real. But he'll have his highs and lows. They got Jesse James to back him up, to show him the way, man. So they rehauled the tight end room, but I appreciate it. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Sorry the delay of this video, but I finally got it done. Share the videos. Appreciate the love and support, man. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description. And camp started today, man. So I look forward to talking about our NBA video tomorrow. I'll drop one time for the one time Motor City Sports Talk.